Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers. Right on to the real, much love to these haters. It's time for the Lakers. It's time for the Lakers.
Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Friday. And first and foremost, as always, just want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers have been looking pretty good in the preseason. Even though they have only had one win, they have won the majority of their first half games, as we touched on the other day. So for the most part, I will say LeBron James is looking very good in the preseason, as we expect nothing less than that from LeBron, because that's what he's always done, coming to camp in preseason looking like he is ready to go. And we have seen Anthony Davis come in, and he's looking pretty good too. So basically what this whole preseason has been about has been the evaluation for Darvin Ham to look at all the different players, because they have a fully loaded roster, not too many returning players from last year other than LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves, because we know the departure of Malik Monk and others. Now we finally have the Lakers, to me, with some true centers, which I think is going to be very important throughout the course of a season, and take some of that load off of Anthony Davis. And of course, he's going to be able to play a lot more freely. And he has mentioned that time in and time out throughout this training camp in the preseason, that he feels a lot more free on the offense without just having to be limited to one section of the floor or one space, maybe on the block, or whatever he was referring to when he's talking about the system that of Jughead Frank Vogel. And I ain't trying to talk bad about nobody, but man, if y'all know anything, if you're a new watcher to this channel, please go back and watch my videos from last year. And as I evaluated each game by game, and the poor decision making by that of Frank Vogel. So I'm telling you right now, I am so excited. I'm excited for Tuesday night for Darvin Ham to begin his head coaching journey in the NBA, because we all know that is something that he is capable of doing. But now I also want to touch on breaking news. I don't know if y'all like my little sound effect, man. Maybe I can use one for real, but you know, until I get some more subscribers around this camp, let's get this YouTube revenue flowing, and then maybe I can get some sound effects. But now, real talk, it ain't even all about that. It's more about just fun, and I really enjoy my YouTube family. So everybody who's been sticking with me for the whole rip, I appreciate it. And if you haven't done so already, y'all know what to do. Hit that little bell, hit that little like. Go ahead and share. Let's get it out here, y'all, because we know the season is about to start, and we got to spread this knowledge of what's going to be going on throughout the season. But anyway, back to the breaking news. What I was saying, breaking news is that Russell Westbrook will be coming off of the bench this evening for the Lakers' last preseason game. So look for Russell Westbrook to come off of the bench and run with that second unit. I think this is something that Darvin Ham has expressed to Russell Westbrook, that this could be a possibility for him, although he kept saying that Russell Westbrook really, he kept saying that Russell Westbrook really was going to be the starter, but he had to evaluate everybody. He did say nothing was promised. He said that from the very beginning, but now there's a lot of variables that goes into this. And the reason I say that is because let's just look at some of these variables before we discuss Russ not huddling up with the team pre-game, and to when Pat Bev went and called the huddle during the game the other night against the Minnesota Timberwolves in that preseason game. I know that made a lot of national headlines, so we are going to touch on that, and I'll give my thoughts on that as well. And I want you to chime in with your comments below. But back to what I was saying. So some of the dynamics that came along with this is, Pat Bev and Russ, they never liked each other at first, right? We know they had words for each other. Then Pat Bev came in, him and Russ seemed like they bonded and forged a formidable relationship, right? And they were getting along fine. They working out together. They doing all of that. So you would think, well, why would Russell Westbrook not come over here and listen to a huddle of a Pat Bev? Maybe he's just looking like, well, hold on, bro. You're not my leader. You're just a role player. Who do you think you are? Even though we cool like that, I don't have to run over here to the huddle. But according to Russell Westbrook, so we're just going to go from Russell Westbrook's own mouth and his own words. And if you haven't seen it, it's available somewhere on YouTube. Somewhere you can look and find the interview with the local Fox reporters who interview the Lakers day in and day out after practices and throughout the week leading up into games and things of that nature, post and pre game, and they asked Russ about this particular situation. But, Russ said that he was actually, they spliced the video is what he said. I mean, I didn't actually see it live myself, so I can't really speak on it. But Russ is saying that I don't see how they spliced the video, to be honest, because he was right there. But he said he was talking to some coaches, and that's why he didn't have the attention. And then maybe he turned around and was leaning down, and he just didn't come over. But, just to be honest, I say, man, just be real. Nobody wants to hear no fluff. If that's what you chose not to come huddle up with Pat Bear, just say, look, man, I wasn't in the mood. I'm not perfect. I don't have to huddle up every time. I'm not trying to hurt the team chemistry. I was just disappointed in myself for that particular play I just made or whatever. But if he's telling the truth, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, man, because at the end of the day, these grown men making millions of dollars to play a game. So, you got to do what you got to do to support the team if you want to be successful, just like if he look at it like a job, and I think he does look at it like a job. And one day he's going to look back on it as part of his legacy, because when you play in the National Basketball Association, you are part of a few that have gone on to do that. And speaking of which, and I don't want to deviate off the topic, but, I know everybody has watched Redeem Team, and I know a lot of people have some not so choice words for LeBron James, and a lot of people saying, well, this makes me say Kobe is over LeBron and all this and that. Man, drop down in the comments right now if you want me to make a video on that. But damn it, you ain't even got to do it, because I'm making one, but I'm not even going to give away my thoughts just yet. But I got some things I have to say in regards to that. And man, all respects to the Mamba, and all respects to Kobe Bean, man, rest his soul. And of course to the King, LeBron James. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, we'll go into that at another time. So back to what I'm saying with the Russell Westbrook situation, as far as him not huddling up, him saying that was him talking to the coaches, that is what it is. But then you have the pregame video when he's over there doing his own solo thing. So in response to that, Russ said that's something he's always done. That's his pregame ritual. I get that. If that's something he's always done, I wasn't aware of it because I never watched him pregame, to be honest. So I don't know what his ritual is. I know LeBron does the chalk toss. I do know that, and that's his pregame ritual, but he still huddles up with the team afterwards. I know everybody has a thing that they do for superstition purposes or good luck purposes or whatever, but at the end of the day, he can still do that and take part of the team, man. You want to be a part of that, but right now, if I just had to be honest and give my own humble opinion about the matter, which I try to keep it all about, what goes on, on the court. But sometimes a little bit of drama comes into these situations, and that's what I'm speaking on now. So, with Russell not joining the pregame huddle, that could have some effect on team chemistry. So at the end of the day, man, just join your team. Do your little thing on the side if you want to, but go ahead and join the team, because you can still make this work, because I don't want Russell Westbrook to start having a give up mentality. You understand what I'm saying? And when he does that, it could be detrimental to the team. I'm rooting for Russ, even though a lot of people want him off the team. I was excited when we first acquired Russell Westbrook, even though, I didn't necessarily know what we were getting, what the Lakers were getting, just because, I remember the rest of the OKC days. And I know athletes start declining as they get up in age, but I never seen a player. And I don't know if it was just the pressure of playing alongside of LeBron James or playing for the Lakers, but I never seen somebody miss so many crib shots and bunnies, and then a lot of ugly shots too off the. Y'all know what it is, so no need to go into all that. But I hadn't seen those reels, you understand me? But I saw them last year, so it could have been happening all the time. But it only gets magnified when you playing along the likes of a LeBron James or playing for an organization that likes that of the Los Angeles Lakers, because things get really magnified because you had that media that you had to deal with, as far as the Los Angeles media and of course the national media, who always are going to have their eyes, because traditionally we know what the Los Angeles Lakers have meant to the NBA as far as marketing and as far as things like that. So anyway, going back to what I was saying, Russell Westbrook is going to be coming off the bench tonight. To be honest, I think it's a role that he could thrive in. I think he could be very successful. I know he doesn't want to win a Sixth Man of the Year award, and I know they could hey, Russ, if you come off this bench and anchor this second team, you could easily win the Sixth Man of the Year award, but that's something he probably doesn't want to get. But I say there's nothing wrong with that. As you move up into your career, you have to start embracing what you are capable of doing if you want to continue to play the game of basketball. We saw people who could do that, and they extended their careers and played for a lot longer. And then we saw players who could not do that. And some of the players who we saw that could not do that is the likes of none other than the answer in Allen Iverson, because he, in the latter portions of his career, as he hit a steady decline, being small in size the way AI was, he took a beating. I mean, AI used to, man, get blasted when he used to go to the hole, but he had heart, you understand? And he would take a beating, being the size that he was, going in amongst the giants. And, it took a toll on him. And once he started to lose some of that speed, he always wasn't the best shooter. He had a decent shot, but he wasn't, Steph Curry with the shot or nothing like that. You understand what I'm saying? So if I want to say AI, and I could be wrong, check me for this. Put it in the comments if you know. I think AI shot below 50% for his career. I believe so. But either way, he could not accept that role as far as coming off the bench. And when he went to the Memphis Grizzlies, man, I tell y'all what, it was not a pretty scene. He refused to take that role. And before I know it, I think he ended up over in China somewhere trying to do something. And then he ended up calling it quits. And it was just an ugly exit for him. So if you can embrace that role, it's hard for a superstar player to embrace that role. That's something Kobe, he had a little trouble with because he dealt with so many injuries later on in his career. Of course, he wasn't at the point where he had to come off the bench. But when he wasn't capable of doing all the things that he was normally used to being able to do athletically, as far as his speed and his maneuverability on the court, started to take a loss because of that Achilles injury and everything else that affected him ultimately, but he still went out with a bang, 60 shots, 60 points, on the court. Man, I'll tell you what, it was tremendous, against none other than my Memphis Grizzlies, because y'all know I got to get shouts out to the M-Town, man, 10 toes down. That's another team we're going to keep a close eye on throughout the season. And I might do separate shows just for the Memphis Grizzlies as we go throughout the course of the season. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. I can do that. But we'll be doing all teams as well, but mainly focusing on that the Los Angeles Lakers on this channel. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Russell Westbrook coming off the bench, I think it could be something that he could do. I think, him guiding that second unit would be great. So I think the starting lineup tonight with Russ coming off the bench, I'm curious to see if it will be Anthony Davis at center. And if Anthony Davis is at center, you would assume that LeBron James is going to play that 4 spot. And then you wonder how smaller they're going to go as far as the other wing, which you potentially put Pat Bev in that 3, Kendrick Nunn in that 2, and then Schroeder in that 1. I think that would actually be the most dangerous lineup because you would have Schroeder. He's capable of shooting threes. Not the best, but he's capable, and he's a great on-the-ball defender. He's a 94-feet defender like Pat Bev. So you got 2 of them. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about you might put Pat Bev in the backcourt with him at the 2 spot and let him rock out like that. And then you could put Troy Brown or either Lonnie Walker, in that 3rd spot. But that's my whole point. The Lakers actually have a lot of young legs who can actually play this game of basketball. Unlike last year, they were so old, and a lot of the players, they just couldn't come in and embrace and accept roles, and then they was not consistent people who could hit 3-point shots. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I would probably say Dennis Schroeder and Nunn in the backcourt, because then you have 2 people who are capable of creating their own shot, getting to the hole, and creating for others. And then in the 3 spot, you got Pat Bev, who could be a good wing defender, capable of hitting 3-point shots when necessary. Not saying we want to take a lot of them because they have not really been falling for him in the preseason as of yet. But, as far as what he can do on defense is good, and that could take some of the pressure off. LeBron James as far as being a wing defender. And then you have LeBron, who could shoot threes, and you have AD, who's been looking decent from the 3-point line, and it looks like his shot is back falling for him at the 5. That could be a potential lineup with Russ coming off the bench. But I'm wondering what Darvin Ham may do, and if I had to guess, he's probably going to let Schroeder be that 1. I'm assuming he's going to let Nunn be that 2, or he may just let Pat Bev be that 2 and leave Nunn coming off the bench to come in with Westbrook, because you're going to need another scorer for Westbrook to kick it to. So now let me change my mind. I will go back, and that's what I will say, that it'll be Schroeder in that 1, Pat Bev in that 2. So then you got 2 great defensive players in the backcourt and somebody who's capable of creating, like I said, as far as Schroeder is concerned. Then you go ahead and put a LeBron James in that 3 spot. And then you have somebody who can stretch the floor on that wing as well and capable of playing defense. LeBron, even though he's in year 20, can still play some defense. Okay, I know people say he can't, but I can pull up some statistics that say otherwise, man. Stop trying to defecate on that man's name. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, then you put AD in there 4, and then you come with Thomas Bryant in the 5. So then you have a rim protector in Thomas Bryant. You don't clog the paint because you can let AD roam freely, but then on the defensive side, let him be an anchor. And then you have LeBron, who can spread the floor and be a distributor, who can also kick it to Schroeder for open shots, AD for open shots, and then cut to the lane himself. But then you could bring, you can get some pick and roll action going with LeBron and AD. With LeBron and Bryant, you can get pick and roll going with Schroeder and AD. It's all kind of things you can have going. You can have cutters. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited about the regular season, man, because even in the preseason, you're only seeing halves at a time. You're not seeing full games. So, you know, come Tuesday night, when Golden State Warriors pull out them rings, you understand me? When Golden State Warriors pull out them rings in front of the Lakers, I'm telling y'all what, we're going to see how hungry and thirsty the Lakers are as far as wanting to get a ring. So with all that being said, man, I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate everybody who's been hanging in there with me. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do. Hit that bell, man, so you get notified when this video come on. Like, share, subscribe. I'm telling y'all, once the season starts, I'm putting you on the schedule right now. After each game, there will be a show the following day with a breakdown of each game every morning. So I don't know what time zone you listening from, but you know, this central time zone where I am. So expect them videos, the show to debut around 9 a.m. And then what I want to do on the weekends, we're kind of going to do a call-in show or a Zoom show we do live where people can join the live and we can discuss different topics. So I'm looking forward to that, man. And as always, man, it's been your boy B New. I just want to say right on to the real and much love to these haters. I'm out.